here we go. Hey everybody, it's Kisby with CardCollective.net. We're about to break the last 4 boxes of the 2018 Top Series 2 Pick Your Team number 3. 4-box Pick Your Team number 3. Let's remove the Yankees hole. Name on top, get the Yankees. If it's my name, it goes to the bottom spot. I think I only have one team anyways. It's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Penguins. He got him in the last whatever break it was. I think he had him in for the Stadium Club. We're actually going to do eBay breaks again this week for the first time in 6-7 months since last December. We're going to do a case of Hobby on Friday, and then a Saturday and Sunday Stadium Club. Anybody drinking any cocktails or manlier beverages such as beer tonight? I drank some of Dean's drink the other day. Man, I don't know what the kids did with my PS4 codes. Maybe they put it by the PlayStation. Damn. The one kid is too quick at cleaning, and I never can keep track of what he's doing. The other two are, I'm tracking, always chasing them down. What it is yeah, Mad Dog. Man, last time I drank Mad Dog, actually the last time I tried to drink Mad Dog, I was like 16 or 15, and there was these hot girls, man. This one chick, nice big old fluffy boobies. Man, she's still pretty cute too. And they wanted to get drunk, and we were 15 or 16. You know, we can't get alcohol. So I said, "Hey, I'll be right back. I'll go get some." And there was this IGA. You know, we're outside the IGA. And by the way, this is an IGA that my grandpa and grandma used to own. They didn't at the time. They sold it. I walk in there like nobody's business. Just walk right straight to the cooler, grab the Mad Dog, put it in my pants, and walk right out. No, I ain't messing around. Well, the stock boy was in the cooler stocking, and he comes. He comes out chasing me, and so I still have it in my pants, and he comes and confronts me. He's like, "Give me back that liquor and let's go. I'm calling the cops." And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." You know, and he's like, "Come with me now." And I said, I ain't going anywhere with you. He says, come with me now. And he started to grab for me, and I ran. And I mean, I was way fast. You know, he didn't even. I mean, I was gone before he was a chubby kid. So, I get about 2 blocks down, and I ditch it in the bushes, and these dudes in a big old get-up truck with, you know, high-end suspension and all that crap. They told me, get in, we'll drive you home. We saw what happened. Getter truck. How about an Addison Russell short print? Well, that wasn't the end of the story. 2-3 years later, about 2.5 years later, you know, this, by the way, my grandparents lived in a neighboring town, Oscoda, Michigan, which is like 15 minutes away from where I grew up, which is Tawas. Rivals in, you know, everything. Sports, you know, everything. And Ryan Braun, Garza Brewers, Scooter. If you want to sell it for 50 points, let me know. You know, Taoist people never go to the parties of Oscoda and vice versa. It just causes fights. Well, for whatever reason, Logan Morrison, Rays, Kev, California. For whatever reason, you know, I was hanging around this cat who was a lot of trouble. You know, he was going to jail for breaking and entering, and he broke B&E'd into this Chamber of Commerce and left fingerprints on the dang window. But this is all before that, or, you know, before he got busted. And this dude, I'm hanging around. His name is Billy. Billy's like, hey, you want to go to a party in Oscoda? And I'm like, sure, all right. You know, keg party out in the back where I grew up. They're all in the woods. We find some DNR fire trails, and they just party at the DNR trails. And I don't know, and I don't know the Oscoda spots. I don't. They all had names: Grenades, Driveway, Little Mexico, Driveway. I already said, you know, they all had like some cool names or whatever. I don't know what they called the Oscoda ones. White Sox, Mike Wojo. So anyways, we go to this Oscoda party, and I don't know anybody there. We're there for probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. The party's starting to die down. It's just a handful of us sitting around the fire. And what do you know? The stock boy spots me and wants to get all huffy puffy, right? Gosh. So I go and lock myself in the car. I'm like, screw this business. I ain't going with this guy to the cops. He's still trying to take me to the cops. So I was like, Bill, I'm going to lock myself in your car. When you're ready to go, let's go. What the fudge does Bill do? He drives me to the police station. I couldn't believe it. You know, that never really dawned on me until like a couple nights ago. I was thinking about that. This rat brought me to the damn police station. You know, I get in there and you know, I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't steal any Mad Dog 2020. That you're full of craziness. And I denied up and down. They got no proof. It's 2 years earlier, you know. I was probably 15 because I was still a minor. I was probably 7. I wasn't 18 yet. And my mom, they called my mom, and my mom's like, mother, you know, chewing the cops out. You have no legal right to question my son without me or an attorney there. It's you. And man, she just chewed him out, and they're just like, this woman's crazy. Just let him go. So they just let me go. But man, I tell you what. And then, oh yeah, the dude Billy was the asshole. Now that I think about it, you know, it dawned on me. Well, one morning I get a call. And one morning I was sleeping on the couch at home, you know, and I get the cops are knocking at my door. This is a few months later, you know, and there's 4 or 5 people that were involved in this robbery of the what do you call it? The Chamber of Commerce. And the Billy, yeah, don't steal. In fact, that was the last time I've ever stolen anything, to my knowledge. But when you got big boobs bouncing in your face wanting to get drunk, you'll do crazy stuff. So I got the cops knock on my door one day, and Texas bit, got it. Billy decides to turn me in for the Chamber of Commerce crime, because he probably cut a deal. If he gives up everybody's name that was involved in it, he'd probably get a lesser jail sentence, because he was already in jail. And you know, he did the B&E in like January. I didn't meet the kid until June or something. Penguins. So, I mean, my mom chewed the cop's name was Radowski. Just chewed him out, man. And normally, you know, I was a troublemaker, but I didn't break any law. I mean, most of my troubles were screwing around in the neighborhood. 50-bit, so man, I never talked to that guy after that. I mean, I went and seen him one time in jail, and I don't remember why. He needed, I can't remember. We had a mutual friend, this real good-looking girl that lived in Saginaw, Michigan, about an hour away. And he needed something. Or she needed something for Bill, and I had to go and talk to Bill. That was the last time. Oh, and then at this chick's graduation, he was at her graduation, but we really didn't talk. 75 out of 76. Russell Cubs bit. How fitting. 4th of July. Independence Day parallel for Sean, his PC team. So far, Sean's got 2 nice PC cards. Kev's not in the room, Chief. Penguins. Yeah, you know, so and my sister said he raped her, and I don't know if that's a true story or if that's just he just kind of, I don't know. I've never, all I know is she said that he took advantage of her, and to this day I really don't know what the story is on that. Mr. Buckets, Gold Dodgers. Well, that's, and the Bill was a slimy guy for sure. I remember he used to pay his rent by there was this, and this was kind of genius too. There was this car wash where you put, you know, your quarters in, you spray, and the cinder blocks basically, you know, they built an extension of the wall, cinder blocks. So, you know, it looked like this. Like, here's the wall of the car wash, and they just built the cinder block extension where you put the coins in. So you could see down, they didn't put one on the top of it. So you could see the coin machine, and there was a hole in the top of the coin machine where you could see the coins where the wash went. So he took a coat hanger and bent it to make a scoop and super glued pantyhose on the end of it, and would scoop down and pull up $200-300 worth of quarters every night. Albert Pujols, Angels, Merv. Because you could do it in all the bays. There you go. Car wash scam 93. So yeah, you know. I wonder if I don't know. I only went with him one time on that round, you know. Oh, hey, that's a tiger. I think I took the tigers. So, you know, I never really, he never shared his criminal ways with, you know, Kisby. But, man, you know what he would do for money, too, is in the summer, it was a tourist town. The boaters would come with their yachts, and you know, they'd all have these rich, hot daughters, and they would walk around town trying to find some local meat, you know. Well, me and Billy, you'd cruise Newman up, you know, and then you'd kind of hang out in the corner and play hacky sack, and you'd meet these chicks. Well, they're all rich chicks, so he, instead of getting in their pants, he'd get them to pay for dinners and all this other stuff, you know. Blue Pirate Josh Bell for Wildcat. He was a good scam. He was a con man. I mean, he was a con man. If he still is, I don't know. But back then, that's what he was, a con. The very definition of con. And he was only like 5 feet tall, too. I mean, he was a nice enough guy. He was just slimy, you know. He had a blue, like a 1990 Sunbird or Sunbird or Sun, one of the Sun cars. You know, everybody thought they were cool driving them. I remember he had Pirelli tires on the Sunbird. And he was so proud of them. I have to admit, though, man, that summer, 93, no, summer 92, actually. It was the summer that Life is a Highway that came out. Life is, yeah, it's 92. And, I just turned 16, now that I remember it. So I would have been 14 in 90, it was 1990. When I stole that 5th of Mad Dog. And it would have been, so about 2 years later. He slept on a couch at this chick, a 21-year-old chick. He was 18, I was 16. And he slept on the couch of this single girl who lived by herself. She was 21. She had a 1-bedroom, small little apartment. And I don't have a power to. She will. So, so at 18 or 16, you know, my sister had already moved out. She was 15. She already moved out, and I was kind of more, you know, the mom's boy. I didn't really fight with my mom like that, you know. But she wanted me in by midnight. No, she's sick. She's in bed. I thought she did, actually. So And this girl was pretty good looking, you know, especially for a 16-year-old skinny kid. So I wanted to be out past midnight. So I moved out too, and I would sleep on the floor next to Bill on the couch. Like, he'd sleep on the couch, I'd sleep on the floor next to him. I mean, it wasn't very big. It was basically a studio apartment with a room. Well, I was there for about 3 weeks, and this girl's name was Tina. She started to sleep on the floor next to me. And I didn't know. I'm like, you know, we drank a lot and smoked the pots. And I was pretty scared of girls still at this point, you know. And I didn't understand why she was sleeping next to me. So one night she's like, you know, you're more than welcome to just go sleep in my bed. You don't have to sleep on the floor. She had a queen-size bed. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I get up and go sleep in the bed. She stayed on the floor. She didn't come sleep in the bed with me. So the next night, I come home real drunk, or to I guess I'd call that home, right? I came back all drunk, and I went straight to her bed. I thought she'd let me sleep in her bed. And she came and slept. She came and slept in there too. Nothing, you know, nothing happened. I'd say about a week went by. We just slept in the bed together. Nothing happened, you know. I didn't even think about making any moves on her. Well, one night, I was really drunk. And she's like, she grabs my hand and puts it on her boob. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You know? She was my first sexual... Well, no. I actually tried to have sex several times before. I just never was successful. But that was my first successful. Because she was already... The other two girls we tried were never... it was both of our first times. She was definitely not her first time. In fact, she was actually pregnant at the time and didn't know it. So... yeah, that's how I lost my big V right there, guys. Dude, I don't know my password to the account. Trust me, I would have already done... I would have blocked her out of it. I try to reset my password all the time with VaughnSoft, and I never get the reset password email. Yes, I did, Wildcat. I was taken advantage of 100%. Hey, that's me. Except for... I was kind of drunk, and I couldn't get the old Willy to work. Trust me, she was pretty good looking. And I tried, business got ready, and I mean, 2 minutes later, she's running into the bathroom. So, yeah. And then, you know, she told me she was pregnant. And I'm like, am I the dad? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm going, what do you mean you don't know? She's like, I had sex with 3 or 4 guys this summer. Or, you know. And I'm like, great. So it's kind of to this day, I don't know. I don't know. Her daughter's pretty hot too. She's like, well, what, 92? You do the math, right? But Bill says he doesn't think it was. It is, because he said that she was telling him before I started sleeping there that she thought she was pregnant, or could be. So, whew. But to this, every time I go to her Facebook, I'm friends with her on Facebook. I go look at her daughter's page, and I go, man, is that my daughter? Aaron Hicks. Penguins. And then I'm conflicted. Oh, she's good look. Here. Frazier. Pujols. Mancada. Well, and then when I was like 17 or 18, we went to I won't get into the whole story because it's a long story. Basically, I ran into one of my ex-girlfriends as prom night, and she was drunk, and her prom date was a big old farm boy too. She ditched him for me, and we went like and I had already moved to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, like 4 or 5 hours away, 3 hours away, and I brought 4 of my friends down to party because you know they didn't have those kind of parties up there like they did down where I grew up. So when I get there, I have my car, but I had a conundrum. I couldn't fit her into my car with the other 4 friends because I was driving a little Hyundai Accent. You could only barely get 5 people in it. So I says, guys, I'm ditching you for the night. Here's the keys to my car. What's up, Captain? And I'm out. I will find my way back somehow. You need this gas station. You meet me back. You know, this is day before, way before cell phones. Manny Machado, Kev, California. So I hung out with my ex-girlfriend all night. Well, my 4 friends somehow make it to a party without me, and they come back with this chick with rainbow colored hair. We met up. I said my goodbyes to my ex-girlfriend, and here I start taking over they're all drunk, so I'm driving my car. Well, there was one extra girl. There was that girl that they have in the car. So the dude, one of my friends was Cy. Cy and her were hooking up, but she needed to sit on someone's lap, and I volunteered. I'm like, hey, just come sit on my lap. Well, when she's sitting on my lap, well, she was ready. She was revved up and ready to go. So I ditched my friends again, and there was another one-night stand. Mets, Merv Conforto. So there's another chance I possibly could have a child in this world. And in fact, I don't even know what this girl's name is. I couldn't tell you who this girl is to save my life. I've never seen her again. It is actually the only time I've ever had a one-night stand in my whole entire life. Because then I went on and getting Then I had a girlfriend for like 3 years. And then I got married, and I was married for 18 years. Tommy Pham. A's Travis. Chris Taylor. Short print Dodgers. Mr. Buckets. Now, those were the only 2 chances that I would ever have a child out of. Well, no, yeah. There was a scare with my girlfriend that I dated for, well, it's like 2.5, 3 years off and on. She, about 2 years into our relationship, and I had proposed, and we were, teenage engaged. She already had a child, Bobby. Her name was Bobby. She had a child at the age of 15. She got pregnant at 14 and gave birth at 15. And Kenta. So I kind of was a father to the child. At least I thought. At that time I was only 19. I started dating her at 18. And I thought we were serious. Well, one day she comes back and says she's pregnant. 3 months pregnant. And I'm like, okay, am I the dad? She's like, well, there's 2 other guys. I said, see ya. Bit 50. Uh-oh, shoot. I was putting these in the wrong spot. Oh, just one. And I left her. I broke up with her, you know. I didn't stick around. And then she came back at 9 months pregnant and said she thought it was mine. And I took, well, 8 months, she was ready, close. And I took her back for a month or 2, and she, Kansas City, Sean 100. And I just couldn't, I don't know, with her being pregnant and the chance of it not being mine, I just couldn't stay with her. My heart just couldn't do it anymore. You know, I could, even if it was mine, I didn't care. And then when the child was born, she wanted child support, so she had to get blood tests done, you know, to find out who's the father. First person they tested was the winner. Woo! And then I didn't have, man, and that was the summer of 94. Or no, 96. 96. And I said, I'm going to be that guy that just doesn't get a girlfriend and tries to have sex with every girl he finds. So I met this girl, Lisa, man, and she was pretty, she's like 5 foot, but, you know, very, very good looking. And we kind of dated, I guess, but I don't know, we didn't quite, she was kind of more sarcastic and whatever, and didn't really get along with her very good, so I kind of was mean to her. And we did, man, my whole objective with her though was to be that, to use her in a wham bam, thank you ma'am, get out of my life. And I just couldn't do it. We became close several times to making the sexy, but I don't know, I never did. I'm still kind of friends with her to this day. Oh man, that was a weird summer, man. Summer 96, whack, man. I'm sure it's still there. I don't think we broke it yet. But yeah, that was mine. Then I got married, not too long after that, a couple years later, and that was a one-woman man. Shoot, I never even came close to having sex with another woman in my marriage. Well, no, that's a lie. One time, I was at a party, and I couldn't drive home, so my friend said I could sleep in his bed. He'll sleep on the couch. But the girl he was chasing for several weeks, like a month, I don't even know her name. She's a real cute blonde. She comes in and crawls in bed with me. She's laying on her back. And I thought, man, I started to like put a move on her, you know, and then the dude comes in the room and he throws a ring at her and says, I thought we were getting serious. And then he storms out. And then at that point I was like, man, what am I doing? I'm about to cheat on my wife. So I just turned back over and go to sleep. I mean, I didn't really do anything to her at all. Just, I don't know, started to put the boobs on, but that was the closest I think ever. Other than that, it was pretty. I kept myself out of harm's way for the most part. I'm still married, legally. I took the ring off because you can see that it started to cut the freaking... I was getting a little too chubby for that ring. Whew. It was, I could barely get it off. I was kind of scared, actually. And then I got it back. Then, one night I popped it back on, and it was on again for a few more weeks. And I'm like, great, how am I going to get it back off again? I think the 2 people that had them are out of the room. Yeah, Gigi. Oh man. Now, and that's true too, Gigi. You know, when I was married, I'd go to the bar and shoot pool all the time. Like I was a manager of a restaurant. I'd take the employees, or the management, you know, we'd go out and, man, I tell you, there were some close calls there. Like girls trying to get me to go. It was easy for me to just say no, but it's still, the temptation was there. But like you said, you know, when you're single, it's like, what? There's, you know, White Sox. Oh, Merv got the other one. And here we go. Ozuna, that's me. And so, yeah, I mean, I just... Like that summer of '96, I don't know how many times there was close calls, but at least 5 different occasions it was like down to the, we were like ready to go, and these girls were like, I remember one of the girls, we were going at it, we're kissing, we're dry humping, we're going, you know, and it got to that point where, are we gonna do this? And she rolls off, and we had been up all night, like 24, 36 hours partying together, and I mean, it was a big ordeal. And I was tired, and she rolls off of me and goes, I don't know if I can do this. I don't want you to think that I'm a whore. I want a relationship. And all I remember from then is falling asleep. Yeah. And then like 6 months later, she's pregnant by somebody else. She was a real nice girl, real cute. Her friend was even hotter. Ooh, there you go. Eric. No, no, I wasn't closing. That's true. I wasn't on the closing. I was too nice of a guy. The way I looked at it is, I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to have to talk the girl out of her pants. It was either you want to do it or you don't. I smoked a lot of pot, and I'll tell you what, my motivation levels were not sufficient enough to hey, it was either yes or no, dude. I don't care. I'll be completely fine zoning out and going to sleep, you know. And at that time, ooh, out of $2.99, Ichiro for the Mariners, Sean. Yeah, TT. I should have said that, right? I was too honest, or too. I just didn't care enough, I guess. You know what I mean? I just didn't. Like, man, my friends. That's. Yeah, Wildcat. Peyton's 20, almost 21, actually, soon. Either way. kids these days. What I'm saying right now, kids are like, it's a whole different game. Bit, another 50. Shoot, they're sending pictures of themselves at 13, 14, nude to each other, and I mean, we didn't have all that. We didn't have internet. We didn't have porn. I mean, if you wanted to watch porn at my age, you had to go down and rent one at a VCR, which my dad would leave them. He'd rent them and leave them for my mom to take back, and we discovered them a few times. Damn, we were probably 11 or 12, and I found one of my dad's VCR tapes. So I go around. We had probably 11 to 15 boys in our neighborhood, and we'd play a lot of sports. And I remember one night we were playing basketball till it got dark, and there's probably, I don't know, probably 10 of us, 8 of us, and we all went back to my house. I told them about this video, and here we are. I thought my mom was at work. She was a bartender. She normally worked like 3 to 3, that kind of a shift. And Perez out of 99. So so we thought she was gone. So we come back. We're all, like, dude, we're all just in our couches, like around it, like we're at a movie theater. I popped the movie in. Probably got popcorn and everything. And oh shoot, poop shoot. Chris Taylor Gold. So we were watching this movie with this porn, right? And we had the volume on, and porn, all this freaking, and this is literally probably all of our first time watching a porno. And we're not even 10 minutes into the film, and my mom was in bed sleeping, and she comes roaring out, "You motherfuckers!" Ah! And she thought it was funny, but she come out scaring us. We all just run out the door. Trust me, she tells that story to anybody she can tell it to. She tells us how cute she busted us watching porn. Disgusting. It was gross too. I won't get into the details, but there was a moment when some mayonnaise got over this chick's face, and I didn't understand why mayonnaise was on her face. Scooter! And it was disgusting. It was like, I mean, to this day, seeing mayonnaise makes me sick. Matsui. Goldschmidt. Sell 100 for Scooter. And that's no joke. I'm not joking too. It made me gag. It was disgusting. That was the first time I ever seen mayonnaise in my life. Oh dang, this sucks. What's coming is the hit, and it was destroyed. Penguins. Daniel Del, whatever, out of 99. Look at this, Trout. That's the second hit like that we've gotten. Merv. Factory's got it. Factory squished it. So you guys got story hour. The dang Excedrin kicked in. That was why. Reds, Eric. 50 if you want it. It was a nice card. Reds, Eric Gold if you want it. 100. Thank goodness Peyton's sick in bed. You're right, Wildcat. Except for, you know, dude, Peyton's got way crazier stories than I got. I mean, mostly they're her friends, or all of, you know, the stories are her with her friends, and the stuff she tells me is like, good Lord, for real? It just blows my mind. Merv. Like, where were these girls when I was 20 years old? You know what I'm saying? That she, like, her friends, like, she's just telling me stories about her friends and what they do. One of them's a porn star now, and she's 20, a 20-year-old. You know, she makes money for the sexy. I'm like, jeepers creepers. When I was a kid, it was, you know, they're wearing freaking flannels and oversized sweaters, freaking baggy cargo pants, freaking corduroys, didn't shave their armpits. It was a whole different world back then. Now, chicks, you go to the mall, girls are wearing like the skimpiest clothes you can probably get away with without it being nude. Like, some of these girls are like wearing lingerie-looking tops with no bra. It literally is like that. Like, I don't know what they call those type of shirts. I mean, like lacy kind of, I don't know if it's, I think they're real shirts. I don't think they're like lingerie. You know, like, what the hell? Why didn't they have that when I was 18? I'm glad they didn't. And now, not only do they wear less clothing on their body, there's more avenues of capturing these girls with less clothing on their body. Phones, tablets, cameras, phones with cameras and recording. I mean, we didn't have that. Shoot. If we had phones when I was a teen, I'd probably be in jail. Not just for, you know, I mean, like, we did stupid things. Probably why we didn't have girls. You know, we would do, I mean, like, one time, it was Christmas night. So it was December 25th, but the sun had already set, so it was we were going into the 26th. And for whatever dumb reason, 4 of us guys decided to drive around this town of 2,500 people and steal. I was 16 years old. And decided to steal every single, you know, those plug-in plastic Santa Clauses? They're like 3 feet tall, maybe 2 feet around. We stole all the Santa Clauses, all the snowmen, all the reindeer, all the soldier boys, and we stole them all. We literally stole 40, 50 of these plastic figurines. Every house we could find them in. We drove every street of East Tawas, Michigan. And we set them up in this really good-looking girl's yard. I don't know why we picked this girl. We were friends with her, you know, and I don't know. Well, I know why. Because she had a roommate, and we picked him up and dropped him off. And we're like, hey, then we thought it'd be funny. We set it up like, you know, like a Christmas scenery, you know. And so the next morning, her mom wakes up and sees this and called the cops. But it was sure fun. Man, see, I wish, my first thought was, I wish I had a picture. We denied it all. We didn't do it. But one of the guys was from Fresno, California. He was 18. The other guy was from Houston, Texas, and he was a skinhead. And he was in the Army. In fact, I remember he gave me his Doc Martens when he left for the Army, which was kind of weird. Dang, it's weird. I forgot about that guy. And the other kid was my age. We just got probation, and the other two guys went to, well, the 18-year-old went to jail from Fresno, and the Army guy, the Army dealt with him. Well, I don't even, probably nothing. He was still in boot camp, or just got out of boot camp, one or the other. Angels, Merv. Oh, nice. No autos in these 4 boxes. Last 4 boxes. Kevin Pillar, Blue Jays, Penguins. And out of 99, Yoenis Cespedes, Mets, Merv. I'm trying to find all these kids. I actually got 4. It was, they, you know what, they counted stealing all those Christmas ornament things. Because 2 people pressed charges, and because there was 2 snowmen in both of those yards, the rest of them we just drove the stuff back, and everyone got their stuff. But one of them, the nose broke on the snowman, so they pressed charges, and I got 4 counts of larceny on that, which gave me 4 years of probation. Here's the crazy part, though. I got off on only 6 months of probation. I guess I didn't know this either. My grandfather, which technically would have been my step grandfather, because it wasn't my dad's real father. He was a city commissioner of my town. He lived in the Oscoda town, 15 minutes away. I guess he was the city commissioner and the president of the school board. And I didn't know that. I didn't know either one of those facts. I mean, that's just not something you talk about, you know, like, hey, by the way, I'm president of your high school, or yours, you know. Yes, Sean, you're correct. And he had a heart attack. He didn't die. He had like a quadruple bypass, whatever. And my probation officer was really good friends with him. And they let me off. They let me off early. I was like, oh, cool. Wow, cool. And I never got in trouble with the law again. That was the last time. Came close, though. I didn't get any hours of community service. Or did I? No, I didn't. I think the other 16-year-old did, but he got the lightest sentence, because it was my car. Brewers 100, Eric? Or wait, Scooter? And gotcha. He was the same age as I was, but it was my car we were driving, so I was the mastermind, right? So I got the most probation. Isaac, the 18-year-old, he only got like 3 months in jail, or 2 months in jail. It wasn't very much. I think he only ended up serving 30 days in fines, restitution and stuff. Lance, the skinhead from Houston, I never saw him again, ever. I think Lance was the one that actually ratted us out. He had nothing to lose, you know. I don't know. He cooperated. They let him finish his service. Whatever. No big deal. Though that probably wasn't even my worst criminal experience. Unfortunately, my worst, and this was just pure catching the. You know, you catch on to this penguins short print. When I was 14 years old in 1990, there was a store called Mill End. It was a department store. That's funny. I never even seen a judge in the whole thing. I don't know. They just came, kind of settled it somehow. Travis, Oakland. There's this girl, real cute girl. You know, I was a freshman. She was probably 11th grader. She worked at this department store. And if you remember, oh, bonus auto! That's why the trout was all scraped up, because it wasn't meant to be in there. Penguins. So, if you remember in 1990, Dodgers, Cody Bellinger, Mr. Buckets. This, you remember everything was stonewashed and used, etc. And especially, remember the brand Get Used? Where it was like, at that time the bibs with the single strap thing was popular. And it was like $175 for the these Get Used clothes at this department store. And so this chick though was cool. She's like, hey, if you want anything at all in the store, just grab it and bring it to the counter, and I'll act like I'm ringing it up and give you a receipt and put it in a bag, and you can just walk out with it. Oh. So, you know, it started out with a couple of us, and then it turned into 14 of us, and we were just, dude, we embezzled like $5,000 in one night. She just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Well, you know, I'm thinking, man, I want some money for these pants. So I started asking, hey, does anybody want to buy some Get Used bibs? And this dude was like, yeah, man, I'll give you $70 for them. So I sell my clothes. I didn't, you know, I'm like, hey, this doesn't look fishy. Here's this poor kid wearing these expensive clothes. I'm wearing, you know, thrift store clothes to school, and all of a sudden I'm wearing designer pants. No, they're gonna catch on. I'll sell mine. Get some money. Go eat it. Go eat. Buy some cigarettes. So that's how we got caught. The dude that I sold the pants to, his mom's like, where'd you get these pants? I bought them. From who? And he said, me. And where did he get them? And that's how I got busted. Everyone got busted. He knew the scheme, you know. That was big time. Boo, that was bad. Oof, man, that was huge. A lot of people went to jail over that. Because some of them were adults that did it. You know, like 18-year-old kids. The Boom Acuna! Braves, California. Now I want to go buy some Get Used jeans just so I can be a cool again. Remember those Get Used and Bugle Boy and Ocean Pacific and Skids? Remember Skids wear? That, man, that was cross color. Z Cavarici. Yeah. Alright, let's do a little recap. Here's some foils and golds. Negatives. Chewed up. And man, this Acuna's nice. Man, I had 4 Acunas. I still don't yet have the Glaber. I need the Glaber. I'll have to trade for it. If you ever get one. Oh, British Knights. That's right. Damn. What else was in Shoes World? Trying to remember. Kangaroos, but that's kind of pre. I'm talking more 90s clothing here. Remember them LA Gear. Man, remember the LA Gear shoes? God, I love those. I don't know why. I just remember those. The fluorescent colors. Do you guys remember Skids? They were kind of like sweat flannel pants with the it had the triangle logo with the car with the Skids marks. Ocean Pacific, yeah, dude. Ocean Pacific, Converse. I still see Ocean Pacific stuff around. Bum, remember Bum Gear? Bum. I seen a documentary in that they're like some backwoods folk, and they were wearing a bum shirt. And I was like, damn. Yeah, Reebok bump, tongue pump.